What's going on, everyone? It's your girl, Kristen Harris, and you are tuned in for another episode of God Put Me Up on Game. Hey, winners. Thank you guys so much for tuning in for another episode of God Put Me Up on Game. You already know I appreciate you. I appreciate you for tuning in and spending a few moments getting put up on this good game. Now, I noticed I've been checking out the numbers, checking out the analytics on iTunes and all of that. So I know that we have a lot of new listeners. And so I wanted to take just a moment to remind you of what God Put Me Up on Game is all about. For those of you who do not know, game is essentially the info required to get the results that you desire. And this game that we share here on God Put Me Up on Game, well, it comes from God. Duh. That's why it's called God Put Me Up on Game. And God gives you the game because he wants you to win. And so that's why every time we come onto this podcast, I say, hey, winners, because this is the game so that you can win at this thing called life. I just wanted to share that because I know we have a lot of new listeners. And again, guys, thank you for tuning in. Thank you for downloading, subscribing, sharing, leaving those reviews. I really, truly appreciate it from the bottom of my heart. Now, because this is God Put Me Up on Game, every so often we have a game changer that we bring onto the show, and we listen to their story and they tell us all the good game. And these are men and women who have experienced and overcome something in life. They have learned some game from that situation, and now they are using that game to win. And when we first started the Game Changers, I think at this point we're like 2 or 3 Game Changers in. It was only going to be once a month. And I said, you know what, we got to just start sprinkling these Game Changers in wherever we can, because I simply love to hear other people's stories and hear the things that they have overcome and glean that game and that knowledge from their experiences. And so I am super excited about today's Game Changer. She is smart, beautiful, vibrant, brilliant. She is a talented, very, very talented, and such a warm-hearted person. And then in addition to that, she's also a fitness entrepreneur, and she is one of the most resilient young ladies that I have ever met. She truly has a story of overcoming and laughing in the face of adversity. And for that, she is definitely a game changer. So, everyone, please welcome Caprice O'Brien Gutierrez to the winner circle. And let me just say, I probably didn't roll my R right, so I'll let her tell you. I got these big lips, and my R's don't really roll the way that they should roll. But Caprice, welcome to the winner's circle. Hey.
Thank you so much for that beautiful introduction. I appreciate it. I'm humbled and I am honored to be in the winner's circle this afternoon. I appreciate you so much for this.
Oh my goodness.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. I appreciate you for coming. You guys, if you don't know Caprice, you're gonna get into tune today. And when we get off, when you're done listening to this podcast, go follow her, go check her out, because Caprice is doing some amazing things. All right, Caprice. So for our winners in the winner circle who do not know who you are, they aren't familiar with you, can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Yes, absolutely. But like you said, my name is Caprice O'Brien Gutierrez. You did well. You did well. I am the CEO and founder of Excuse Free Fitness in the South Suburbs of Chicago. I am a personal trainer, nutrition coach, a fitness entrepreneur, like you said. Um, I help people get rid of their excuses. I help people see the best in themselves and catapult themselves to win with the hand that they were dealt in life. I've overcome God has graced me to overcome some amazing things in life. And I utilize my setbacks to push me into the best no matter what.
Wonderful. So when she says she has overcome some amazing things, Caprice is not lying. Let me tell you, she has stories with Z's and S's, okay? So many of triumph. And today I'm really excited to get into one of the one of those stories, and it may actually bring us to some of the other stories, but I really want to focus on one in particular. And so, Caprice, I know that your life completely changed in June of 2012. But before we get there, I want you to paint the picture of what life looked like before June of 2012.
Of course, absolutely. So, I can be brief.
Hmm.
When I was 14, I was in a major car accident, um, and I had to relearn how to walk. And then when I was 17, I was in another car accident, and the car put out in front of us. We hit that car, and then we spun out, went head onto a pickup truck, and then I started having seizures. And then when I was 19, this was the event that we'll be talking about today. I started having seizures. And so when I was 19, I had a seizure. It was June 18th, 2012. I had a seizure in class. I hit my head on the ground during the seizure, and I woke up in the hospital, and I didn't know my name
You did not know your name. So hold on.
or
Before
anything for that matter.
Okay, so wait a minute. Before we even get to that day waking up in the hospital and not knowing your name or anyone else's name or anything like that, you were in two car accidents that
Correct.
potentially should have taken you out of here.
Correct.
And then, as a result of one of those car accidents, you start experiencing seizures.
Correct.
And
So the trauma to my brain increased the seizure threshold. So everyone is born with a seizure threshold in their life. But I wasn't diagnosed with epilepsy until after the second car accident.
oh wow.
But after 17 years old.
Wow. So I didn't know that. I didn't know that everyone was born with a seizure threshold. See, look, this is why this is God put me up on game because I got people coming through here because I know I'm not the only person who did not know that. I got people
Yes, it's
coming
one
here.
in 20. Yes.
Go ahead. Hmm.
1 in 26 people have epilepsy, and 65 million people in America.
Wow.
So it's one of the top. It is one of the top neurological um, disorders. So I know that there are so many others, but epilepsy. So March 26th is um, National Epilepsy Day. So there's so many things that people do not know about epilepsy and about neurological conditions and disorders, but I feel like it's my job to educate them because a leader is one that knows the way, shows the way, and goes the way. So I have to teach
Yes.
the people, and
Yes.
as I learn, I teach.
Love it. Okay, so now you're having these seizures and you say you were in class. So at this point you were in college?
Correct.
Okay, so you're in college. Were you away from home
I
at
was
school?
here.
Okay.
I was here.
All right. So you're
But when I first went away to school, they sent you academic medical leave because I was having too many seizures.
Oh
So then I
wow.
came back to do a smaller school. I was at a junior college, a community college here, and then that's where I had the seizure, hit my head, and then I ended up at the hospital.
Okay, so now we're caught up. It's June, you said
Mhm.
12th, 2012?
June 18th,
June
2012.
18th, 2012. So tell us about when you woke up in the hospital and you realized you did not know who you were.
The most overwhelming day of my life, but I still had this peace because it was like I knew something, but I knew nothing. So it's like I knew God, but I didn't know anyone else. So
Mm-hmm.
it's like I thought my mom was a nurse. So because I mean I didn't know anybody.
Wow.
Like I thought my tattoos were like dirt. I'm like, they need to clean this off. I didn't understand anything. Like I had to relearn brain freeze. Like I had to relearn thunder. Like it was all foreign,
Wow.
everything. So, but the doctor, it was just so okay. Well, take her home, and well, obviously, I had to go to Mayo Clinic. I went to the best research hospital in the world, because
Mm-hmm.
retrograde amnesia isn't common. It's not something that happens every day. But it was more so, let's after a few weeks, let's try to reintroduce her to her life and to see if it'll come back. And now it's almost 7 years later and it hasn't come back. So this is something that I realized that God reset me on purpose. Because
Mm-hmm.
if God felt like I didn't need the first 19 years of my life, one, he must trust me, but also my identity is not in the first 19 years of my memories. My identity is in Christ.
Wow.
And
Yes.
I know, isn't it good? And I just felt like, wow, like I, what an honor. Like
Mm.
he trusts me with my life, and I must steward it well because he gave me a second chance. And so that day, it was just like, just think about like you sitting in a chair and there's a rug beneath you and someone just snatching the rug from
Mm-hmm.
underneath you, and you're just stuck on your butt, and there's just nothing to explain, and there's just no recollection. It's just like, or being in an attic and there's a bunch of boxes and they're all empty, and there's just like, well, all of these boxes are the memories of your life, and you don't know what these boxes
Yeah.
are. And but it's okay, because this is what God says it's what it's supposed to be. So this is what I accept.
How easy was it for you to get to that place of acceptance?
Oh,
Because
absolutely not. It
I
was it was terrible in the beginning. It was awful. I was so depressed
oh,
because
so
I had five brothers and sisters. You know, I mean, I like I to me they were all normal. Like, well, why do they have their memories?
mm-hmm.
Why do they get to go to college? Why do they get to have regular jobs? Why do they get to drive? Why don't they have seizures? And even um, like everybody, like there was no one in my family that had epilepsy. Well, why? Well, why?
Mm-hmm.
And then God finally dropped in my spirit, why not you?
Mm. Why not?
Why not? Why not? What makes you think that you're not strong enough? What makes you think that I didn't choose you on purpose?
Yeah, because I knew that you could handle this and I knew that you would take this and use it, just what you just said, as a leader to go and what
Absolutely.
did you just say about the leader? I need to use that. What do
A
they do?
leader is one that knows the way, goes the way, and shows the way.
There it is. And so that's why you were chosen. Wow. So you said you have five brothers and sisters.
Yes.
What did this look like for the people around you? Like, how were they able to respond? Because I'm sure it wasn't just a journey for Caprice, but it was a journey for everyone else as well.
And even for my siblings and for Alex, like we were
Who is
just dating
Alex?
at the time. My husband,
Okay.
Alex, we were just dating at the time. So for him, he was like he didn't I didn't remember him. So he could have been like, oh, deuces. So but he was determined for me to remember him. But for my siblings, like they didn't force their memories on me,
Mm-hmm.
you know? They didn't um they didn't force their pictures. They were just like, do you want to see a picture? And I would be like, no.
Why did you say
Or
no?
because in the beginning it was too much,
Okay.
because I'm looking at a photograph and I do not recognize this person.
Mm,
Who is that?
wow.
I do not know who she is.
Did you find it difficult to
One more time.
I said, did you find it difficult to trust again?
My family, no, because of one thing that my dad said. He said, no one that comes through that door is going to hurt you, and I believed him.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
I believed him.
Wow. It's really hard for me, or I'm sure anyone who will hear this message, because most of the time we only see like amnesia like this on television. We see it played out in
Right,
movies
in
and
the
things.
movies.
It's nothing that we've ever experienced. So like, to hear you say you woke up and you knew no one, you didn't know your name, like I just can't even fathom that. And then just knowing that there were 19 years of memories just completely wiped away. And so I really applaud you for getting to that place, even if it was a hard journey, even if you had to walk through the depression. I appreciate and applaud you for getting to that place where you're like, okay, God, if this is your will for my life, then I didn't need those years. Because my husband says something to me all the time, and he's usually talking about people walking away. But he said, if you needed that person to survive, then God would not have let them leave your life. And so I feel like in this situation, it's your memory. Like, if you needed those memories to be who you are today, you'd still have them, right?
Absolutely.
Wow. Wow. Caprice, I just love you.
I love you too. It took time though, because I didn't even want to get out of the bed. I didn't want to look in the mirror, because before amnesia I had long hair, but since then I had cut my hair. So I'm like touching the back of my head. I'm like, hold on a second now. You can't be showing me my license with long hair, or my ID with like and photographs with long hair, and then I'm touching my head and I don't got no. So I didn't look in the mirror. I didn't want to get out of the bed. But my dad, he took me to the gym, and he's like, when we not doing this depressed stuff no more.
Right, right.
He's like, that's not what we doing. I couldn't be at home by myself because I would have seizures in my sleep. So I couldn't, and it just got to the point, you've heard people say where you get sick and tired of being sick and tired.
Mm-hmm.
And so it took for I got really tired of people telling me no. Like the colleges that, oh my goodness, you're so fast. Because I've tried out for the track team for this particular college in Chicago. Man, you're so fast, but you're a health risk. We can't let you live on the campus because no. So it would be like, okay, they told me no, okay, and then they told me no, and then they told me no, but then their no turned to God's yes, and then I created my own yes. But then I became a certified personal trainer, and I didn't need to leave the house because I was able to do my certification online. So it was just like, I don't need your no. I don't need your yes,
Mm-hmm.
because God told me yes. So I don't need you to validate me. I don't need you to approve me when God already set this up. He already wrote this plan. He already did this thing and lined this up for me before I was even born, because he knew this was going to happen. So it's just like, hold on, let me just take my hands off of it. Let me surrender it before your throne, because it is already done. And if I don't need 19 years of memory, I don't need you to validate me.
Yes, yes. I love it. Wow. So those no's that got you to your God's yes. Do you feel like that's how you got to being Coach Caprice, or what was fitness something you were always interested in or passionate about? Like, how did you get to becoming Coach Caprice?
I feel like Coach Caprice came from um because before, like right after amnesia, I was just like, so what did I want to do? And everybody was like, well, you wanted to be a doctor, you wanted to do this. I'm like, a doctor? I don't need
He said, "Why did I want that?
what?
Well, I don't want to do that
Right.
anymore."
I was like, hold on a second now, because I'm just like, so I started to think about it, like, well, why did I even want to go to college? Because I'm just like, well, did I want to go to college to keep up with my siblings? Did I want to go to college to keep up with this, with that? Why did I? Because I didn't remember why I wanted to go to college, because that was before. I don't even remember high school, none of that. And so I believe in my heart, what I remember is that once I started going to the gym, I absolutely fell in love with it. And people started coming up to me like, can you train me? I'm just like, hold on now. I'm coming here to heal myself.
Mm-hmm.
Train you? What you mean? There's a dude over there. He got trained on the back of his shirt. I think he might be able to help you out. And so, and so I would be like, what? But then a guy, he's like, you're made for this. And I was like, what did you say? So I would, and he told me about, becoming a personal trainer, and I ignored him for a strong 6 months. Okay. And I would just be like, no, I don't really think so. And then I would be like, okay, well, how about you just work out with me? We can motivate each other. And then the girl started losing weight, and I was just so rewarding. And
Wow.
then I bought this book called Treating Epilepsy Naturally. And I stopped drinking mucho mangoes. I stopped eating hot popcorn and Oreos all the time. And because when I would seize, people would bring me Oreos and like all this stuff to make me feel better. But like one of the triggers for my seizures was low blood sugar. And so when I would eat Oreos, it would spike my blood sugar really high and then it would plummet really low. And I wasn't educated enough to understand that that's what was happening
Mm-hmm.
until I learned. So it was like I was getting results in my own life by changing my nutritional habits, by learning and then by helping other people. So I was like, whoa, if I learned how to eat right and exercise to make a difference in my own life, it's very selfish for me to keep this to myself. And that's where I believe Coach Caprice came from, because it would be like, thanks, Coach. I'm like, what you trying to what did she
Who you
just
talking
say?
to?
Right. And I'd be like, the dude right there has trainer on the back of his shirt. And so, and it would almost be like, is this in me?
Mm-hmm.
You know? And I'm just like, is it there? Really? And in this, 1 bedroom apartment, Alex and I came up with the name Excuse Free Fitness. And out of, this small beginning, we decided to start small and not think small.
Mm.
And that's where it came from. And Coach Caprice is just, that's why that's where it came from.
Wow.
That's really it.
I love that story, Caprice. I've never heard that. So I'm like, man, I
Yeah,
love
and
when
I
I hear
actually never
stories.
told that one before.
See, exclusive. Every
It
single time I
is.
bring a game changer on the show, we always get some exclusive piece of information.
It
So I
is.
praise God for that. Wow. Okay, so I'm sure there's so much that you took away from this, but if there was one lesson, one piece of game that you took away from this entire ordeal, what would that be?
Wow. It's so hard to
I
do
know.
one.
I okay. Well, tell me what comes up first.
Man, the word is patience.
Mm,
Ooh,
mm,
ooh. And the thing is praying for patience. I used to feel like it was a trap,
mm-hmm.
because once you pray for patience, God is gonna give you an opportunity to be.
Yeah, you have to practice
God is gonna
patience,
give you
right?
an opportunity to be patient. He
Yeah.
is. And so, but that was the hardest thing, because in my mind at first it was like, no, I should just accept that, like, all the books, all the Google, all the epilepsy has no cure. Okay, I know you weren't born with it, but it has no cure. Like, some people, this, all this. Okay, fine, but you should just wait and wait and wait and like all this. But it's like, in my mind, I had to learn that patience teaches you to endure with a smile.
Mm,
And I didn't want to hear that.
mm,
But it applies to not just physical healing, not just, it applies to everything. And it applies to eliminating your excuses. It applies to you being able to excel personally and professionally. It applies to you shifting your mindset, regardless of your capabilities. It applies to you really being able to just achieve anything in life, because I don't really think that there's any disability. I think that it's how you view it and it's your perspective. Because when you're patient and you wait on God, that's not you just like waiting on him to snap his fingers. You're being still and you're doing the work, and you're doing what you can do in the physical while he does what he does in the spirit.
Mhm. Mhm.
And so once what well this is I mean, we never arrive. Amen. So
Yeah, never.
so we never arrive because he's always going to be doing a work in us. But the better I get with patience, the closer I get to him.
Yes.
And if we can practice patience, it's almost like a muscle. If we can just get more and more patient every single day, no matter what you're going through, no matter what it looks like, um, I believe that you can do anything in the world, like anything at all.
I agree, because you find yourself in this place of actively waiting. And I
Yes,
just read
active.
that. I had a friend, she just posted something I think on Instagram, and she talked about actively waiting. And I said, man, it in some ways it may sound like an oxymoron, but it's you have to still have the action behind, what it is that you want to do. For you still had to get out there and pursue your healing. But
Yes.
in the meantime, there's so much I can't do in my own might. So I'm going to wait for God to put some super power on my natural ability. But
That's good.
yes, so in the meantime, I'm exercising my natural ability. And when he drops that super on my natural, man, it's just gonna blow up. But until that happens, he's looking down like, what are you going to do? Because I just said this yesterday. Sometimes we get stuck feeling like God is waiting. We're waiting on God, but God is really waiting on us. Like, he's like, what are you doing? And so I love that, because you're absolutely right. There is nothing that will stand up against you if you can really get to that place of being patient, but doing the work at the same time.
Yes.
Love it.
Yes.
What you have so much good game. So what else? What else did you take away from that?
Oh man, because the patience was so important, but like, oh, my goodness. I really, what else did I take away from that? Oh my goodness. I got so stuck on the patience is because I, it's so key, and it's so key. And also, um you can't heal what you don't confront.
Mm,
Whoo.
wow.
Because I think there's a difference from because it's very important for me to speak those things as if they were already, and denial.
Mm,
So it's important to speak to your problems with authority, but you can't ignore what you're dealing with. So
yeah.
it's like, if you don't address that thing, if you don't, stare it in the face and deal with it and be like, yo, hey, I got a little resentment happening right now, like, then you won't be able to heal it. Because I mean, you just can't, like, plainly you can't. So if you cannot heal what you don't confront. So I was having issues with my identity, and I was depressed about having amnesia. So until I said, I am depressed that I do not remember who I am, until I went to God and was like, yo, why you take my memory?
Mm-hmm.
Like he couldn't, you know, break away my chains, and I didn't, and sometimes we don't even know that they're chains until they're so heavy that we can't even move.
Mm.
So I had to confront it and be, instead of trying to be this champion all day and just smile and be like, hey, Prissy is good, Caprice is great. No, 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 I wasn't. You
Wow. So
can't just smile.
really being
I had
honest.
to confront it.
Mm-hmm.
Yes,
Being honest with
confront it.
yourself and with God, because I think that's so key. So many times, and in your instance, you had a right. I feel like, every now and then we have a right to be mad, and God understands that, but He's waiting for us to come to Him and really express what that resentment, what that anger looks like, so that He can help us work through it. And like you said, He can help to shatter those chains that we're living in, because being in that state of mind is really bondage. And
It
until
is.
you take it to Him, He's really like the only person that can help with those type of situations, especially when you're mad at Him. It's kind of like, with me and my husband, I can get upset with him. Nobody can fix that but God and Him. Like, this is between me and you. So I got to bring this back to you so that we can have this discussion and you can figure out why I'm hurting and how you can fix it. And it's the same thing with God. And so I love when I hear people who are honest about being angry and being upset with God for whatever their circumstances are, and then telling us how they went to Him and He helped to move them past that.
Yeah, because there are layers, and it's important because the transparency gets you to a level of being like, I always, not always, but like sometimes my amnesia reminds me of, all right, when there are glitches, we all got these iPhones and these, what are the other ones, the Galaxies, but like when there are
The other
glitches
ones,
in your
you like
phone,
iPhones and others.
let me tell you something. I always forget what they call. So the Androids, the Galaxies, these high tech things. So, but I always once I got to this place of needing nothing, needing no one, no hot popcorn, no wine, no spouse, no achievement, no award, no validation. But I was just like, let me get in my war room and go to God and get on my knees and go to His throne of grace, because I need you, and I need you, because only you can peel back these layers and show me what it is. Because it's not just, I'm not mad at you. I'm not mad at you. I'm mad at my situation. I'm
Mm-hmm.
mad because there's some layers, because I got to peel back the onion, because there's other things are down on the inside of me that are causing me to be upset at other things, right? So when there are glitches in our phones, we have to reset them. Whew. So when I think that when we have pain and we have traumas, God desires to restore us. He desires to reset us. He
Mm-hmm.
desires to get us back to our factory settings.
Mm-hmm.
And when we heal and we become whole, that's what He does. He renews us, He restores us. We're not supposed to sit in resentment. We're not supposed to sit in unforgiveness and bitterness and brokenness. But when we keep that weight on our shoulders, on our backs, on our bodies, and we don't release it back to Him, we just sit, we stay, we keep weight.
Wow.
We just keep it on us. We have to release it. We have to pray up so the weight can come down. Okay.
Yeah. Oh,
So I
oh, hold
think
on.
that
Well, hold
so
on.
I
You
think
moving
that
too fast,
I think
Caprice.
that but no, what I'm saying is I think that like my second chance was releasing pounds, in a sense, for, you know, I mean, because I really don't know what my life was like.
Mm-hmm.
So who knew what God is protecting me from?
Yes. Mm.
Who knew? Who knows? But like um um the the reset and the restoration that comes from peeling back layers of that reset and that restoration, of amnesia is just, it's profound. But it can happen for everybody. You don't need to lose 19 years of memory for you to have a reset in your
Mm-hmm.
life, a renewal in your life. You don't.
You
You
know,
really don't.
I truly love God. I just love the Holy Spirit because actually you just went right on into what I was going to ask you about because on your guest interest form, I copied and pasted that line that you wrote about the reset because I thought it was so profound, and I was actually going into that next because when I read that it said and I believe that God desires for us to be restored to our factory settings before the pain and traumas. And man, that can apply to whatever your pain, whatever your trauma is, but God is trying to hit that reset button. Like, you don't have to get stuck here. You don't have to live with these defects. You can be reset, and I can restore you. I can bring you back to me, which is in essence what what restoration is, coming back to what you were, and
Yes.
then coming back to what you were so that I can make you even better.
Yes.
So
Yes.
let me bring you back down so that I can build you back up. Let's go
Yes.
back to who you were so I can bring you out much, much better. So man, and I think when I look at you, Caprice, I see that because it's like, now that's who Coach Caprice is. That's Coach Caprice with excuse free fitness, a gym that's changing lives, that's impacting people, helping them to live their best healthy lives, and hearing your story and educating about epilepsy. And now your newest project, this book. That's why I said you were getting ahead of yourself with the prayers
Oh,
up,
I'm so
weight down.
sorry.
No, that's okay. Your newest project. So tell us about prayers up, weight down.
Absolutely. Prayers Up, Weight Down is a 30-day quest to the best version of you. It is full of 30 days of devotionals, daily workouts, recipes, and it is a journey to total wholeness.
Love it. And so is this, well, let me, I'm the midwife, so I always have to know how things came, how the
Yeah.
conception came about. Like, was this your personal journey, or is this just kind of things that you learned along the way? Like, how did Prayers Up, Weight Down come about?
Oh, man. So, Prayers Up, Weight Down was birthed through like my literal like need to be made whole. So I was like, essentially, I was putting band-aids on things that needed open heart surgery. So I was like, I thought I was whole, but I was like, not.
Mm-hmm.
And so I really needed to be. And for me, it was emotional. So Prayers Up, Weight Down walks you through practical steps to releasing physical, emotional, or spiritual pounds. And for me, they were emotional and spiritual pounds. And I started this journey in 2016. In the first draft, I mean, truthfully, I rushed it because I'm just like, man, I really need to do this. Like, God put it on my heart, and it was like, okay, Prayers Up, Weight Down. Let me start this. I need to do this. But I didn't, like, none of the drafts were enough. Like, it didn't have I had all the scriptures, and there was just like a few lines, and it was like I wrote the workouts, but it was like it wasn't enough. It didn't have the meat and potatoes. Like, it wasn't like,
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, ain't nobody gonna get delivered from this, like. And like, I started in early 2016. I put it off, and like the gym was flourishing. I kept focusing on that, and like I said, I was putting band-aids on things that needed overt surgery in my own life and in my own emotional and spiritual healing. And so, and then, I got engaged and married, and life and the gym was growing, and this and that. I got distracted.
Mm-hmm.
And God kept nudging me, and I kept ignoring him, to be quite honest. and the trials of life and all these things. And so then in 2018, I went to the Scribe Tribe seminar,
Woo,
and
shout out to the Scribe Tribe.
it's a squad. And when I tell you, it lit a fire in my soul that was April, late April. We left, from, we got back in May, and I finished the book in September.
Wow.
And I was so on fire. And then I was just, it was amazing. It was amazing, amazing, amazing. And I had went through this journey of just solitude for the book, just of this journey of healing, of emotional and spiritual healing. Just so I'm just like, if this is going to be a journey of physical, spiritual, emotional healing from other people, I need to get right for Caprice.
Yes.
Because if this is going to be a lifestyle for them, it needs to be a lifestyle for me first. And I'm like, God, if you want this to heal them, I need you to heal me first. And I said, God, I give you permission to do what you need to do within me and within my life. I know it will sometimes be painful, but I'm willing. And then he took me through some heavy, 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 heavy waters. And even now, the things that took place after that, it still blew my mind, and are still blowing my mind. And there were some incredible, testimony, incredible things that happened. But like now, seeing it come to fruition is just mind blowing. But there are some people that went through the journey, the 30-day quest, and they just said that it changed the trajectory of their fitness journey. Inviting God into their fitness journey, blew their mind, because they're just like, it's more than just like being like, Jesus, help me do these squats. Because it's like, diets don't get to the root of the problem, and I'm going to have to keep, embedding this into people's minds. And it's just like, okay, I know this is 2019. There's nothing new underneath the sun. There's other people that have written books about, this particular subject and doing this, but like, God put this on my heart. This is my journey, for my emotional and spiritual healing. But it's so much more than the physical pounds that you need to get rid of, because every single time, you make a decision to eat, whether you are emotional eating, or what have you, like, it's a habit. And when you gain 50 and 100, 150, 200 pounds, when you do these things, it's all, these are emotional things.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we have to pay attention. We have to be cognizant of what we are putting into our mouths. And sometimes what we notice is that we are hungry for things that chocolate and steak cannot provide.
Yes.
Whew. And once we start paying attention to how it's not just, what we are consuming into our mouth, but what we are consuming into our hearts.
Mm-hmm.
And if we get whole and we get healed, we will pay attention, and we will see that we are not even in shape for our calling. And wow, there are so many people that every single person is here for a purpose, and God has a plan for them. But there are so many people that they know their calling, but they are not in shape for their calling. I'm not saying everybody need to be slim and trim like a bicycle rim, okay? But I'm saying that what you need to do for the kingdom, but you aren't in alignment with God's plan for your life
Mm-hmm.
because you are stewarding your body well. You
Wow.
are waking up and you are eating French fries. You are going to bed and eating, you know, fruit snacks, or you are drinking 3 cups of coffee for lunch. Like you are acting like you are going to wake up in a new body in 45 days. Like you are repeating a cycle as if you're going to get new skin when you're 50. You're not. Like we have to release and then some people say, I don't want you to say lose weight anymore. I want you to release the weight because I don't want you to find it again.
Okay, come on now. Come on.
And I get so passionate about it because it's not just physical pounds that
Yes.
you are
Mm-hmm.
carrying,
Mm-hmm.
because so many people are carrying their childhoods with them. It's unforgiveness, it's resentment, it's bitterness, it's anger, and it's so much that is in your body. It can make you physically sick. It changes your blood pressure. It changes your immune system. It changes the anxiety, changes the chemical imbalances in your body. And I need people to understand that once you release these things, it's going to change the entire trajectory of your life. When you pray, it's going to change everything. So prayers up, weight down. A
Woo.
30-day quest to the best version of you.
So
But
after
God don't
that,
want your perfection. He just wants your progress.
come on now. Come on. Oh my good. So listen, after that, I know they want the book. How do we get this book? How do where do we get Prayers Up, Weight Down?
Prayers up, weight down.com. I made it easy for y'all. Okay?
Oh, well, we can't forget that. Prayers Up, Weight Down. Oh my goodness, Caprice, that sounds like an amazing, amazing piece of literary art. I cannot wait to read it. Because let me tell you, I mean, you were just talking and some of the stuff you were saying, let me be honest, you were convicting me. I got some issues I got to work on. And I know, as you said, there's some things we're just not in alignment with the assignment.
Yes.
And many times we think that we just we got tomorrow to get it together. Oh, I'll do that tomorrow
Yes.
or Monday, because Monday is our favorite day to get life together. Everybody
Yes.
gets their life together on Monday.
But that's definitely the goal. The goal is never to condemn, because that's the end. That's what the enemy does. And food is not the enemy. The enemy is the enemy. Okay.
Yes, yes.
God convicts with love.
Mm-hmm.
The enemy brings condemnation and fear. God convicts with
With
love.
love. Yes. So thank you for convicting me with love, Caprice. Wow. Well, I'm super excited to read
Me
this
too.
book. Oh, well, tell them about your event, because you do have a book launch coming up. You want to invite the
Yes,
people?
absolutely. I sure do. I would love to see you in this place on Friday, April 5th. My lovely friend Kristen R. Harris will be our MC for the evening.
Woo.
She will be hosting the Q&A discussion. So it'll be from 6:30 to 8:30 p.m. at Christian Life Center in Tinley Park, Illinois. So that is April 5th, 2019. Pre-orders are still on sale at prayersupweightdown.com. It's going to be from 6:30 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. And you can grab your girls, grab your husband, grab your cousins, grab whoever, okay? And you can get your ticket at prayersupweightdown.com.
I am so looking forward to that. So honored to be a part of this, because I know that this is going to bless and change so many lives, Capri. So thank you and kudos to you for that. How can the listeners connect with you? Learn more
You
about
can
Caprice.
Absolutely. You can follow me on Instagram at Coach Caprice, or on Facebook, Caprice O'Brien Gutierrez.
Good to that. Okay, I'm keep practicing, because I got to roll that R the right way.
Yes,
I'm gonna have
you
it.
got this.
I'm gonna have it by April the 5th. Okay.
You close. You close. You close.
Well, Caprice, thank you so much for coming and sharing your story of triumph and overcoming. I am most appreciative. I know that the listeners got put up on some good game today. So thank you so much for coming through the winner's circle.
Thank you for having me. I'm so honored and blessed. Thank you so much.
Oh, you're welcome. All right, winners, remember, God wants you to win, and that's why He puts you up on that good game. I pray that this has been a blessing to you. Guys, I'll be back here next week, same time, same place. Until then, I'm Kristen R. Harris, and I'm out. Bye.
Bye.